Hello and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. Today I am doing my second annual and probably last for quite a while, 12 consecutive months of ScrawlrBox, what I got in a year of ScrawlrBox. If you want to see the first one and get an idea of what a different year of ScrawlrBox looked like, I will link my previous one down below. This is the old ScrawlrBox. This is what they looked like up until January of this year when they swapped out for this new box. I must say, I preferred the actual dimensions of this one because this one goes straight in my community mailbox. This one goes in the parcel compartment at the bottom of the community mailbox because it's like an inch too wide to go in my community box. But these ones, they have this tearaway tab down here at the bottom and then they open up. They're much better sealed than these were. These used to be a couple pieces of tape. I believe this is also completely recycled paper. So good job, ScrawlrBox. Overall, you have made some improvements with your box. I just really wish it still fit in my community box. Before I get going and show you what we got this year, I just wanted to give you the numbers I have run. The RRP grand total, the recommended retail price total in Great British pounds for the boxes of November 2019 through to October 2020 was £269.05. I will have that converted to US dollars and Canadian dollars in the description down below. That averages out to £22.42 per box. Keep in mind that each box starts at £15 each. It gets cheaper if you subscribe for 6 or 12 months at a time. Customers outside the UK add 5 onto that, so £20. And the individual box RRP totals ranged from a low of £17.34 to a high of £27.40. So it's pretty good, and all of the times it went really low, the couple of times it went down to 17 something, the next box was always over 20, so they do balance out. I've done some other calculations of what you would have saved RRP compared to what you paid in the 3 different countries I do prices for, and whether you prepaid 6 months, 12 months, or paid monthly or 3 months. There's no discount on 3 months. You will notice that there's anywhere between a 33 to almost 39% savings on the RRP price in the UK, and that's because they're not paying shipping. Because of that, markups usually aren't that high. It's a great deal in the UK. For Canada and the US, because of shipping, it's only about 11% up to about 16%. So depending on where you're shopping, that might not make up for the sale prices in the RRP markup. Every ScrawlrBox comes with a sticker. This is the latest one from the October 2020 box. They're always this shape, and sometime in the previous year, in 2019, they started doing unique designs for each of them. Starting in February, they started including these zines. These are short little magazines. It's got what was in the box. You still get the menu card, but you also get here, you get more information on that featured artist, more information on how to use the tools in the box or some sort of technique. You get to see some of the top Instagram photos of the art challenge from 2 boxes prior, and just something else from ScrawlrBox on the last page. Let's start off by talking paper and boards. Every box will send you something to make marks on. Last year, very few pads and booklets were sent, so I didn't have a whole lot to show in the video. Most of it was loose paper. This time, there's a lot more to show. In terms of loose, one of the boxes sent these art boards. There were 3. I used one of them. I have 2 left. Nice linen surface finished art board. One of the boxes included 8 sheets of Sea White of Brighton 350 cold press watercolor paper, and I have 6 and a bit. The February box that started the new box design and the zines, they sent this little pocket sketchbook. This is 100 GSM recycled paper and 2 pieces of craft paper in roughly A5 size. I used one of them. The January box was a pastel feature, so they sent Canson Mitance pastel paper. This is the sanded touch paper. I don't know if you're going to be able to see a texture, but this is basically very fine sandpaper. They sent 2 colors. There was also kind of a tan color. Haven't used this one yet. Beyond that, this year they were all pads of paper. We got Clairefontaine paint-on paper twice, in black and in gray. This is 250 GSM paper. It is mixed media all-purpose. It's a fairly smooth surface. It's got a little bit of a tooth. This one was sent in the charcoal focused box, and this one was sent in a metallic pencil focused box. These are A5 and there's 8 sheets each. We got watercolor twice. We have ScrawlrBoxes private labeled 8 sheets, 300 GSM cold press. And we have Clairefontaine Etival watercolor paper, also 300 GSM, also 8 sheets. We have paper that they intended for us to use with markers. The Gecko pad, this was sent with Posca markers, as you can tell. There were 10 sheets in this, and it reminds me of Canson the Wall. It's very, very thick. It's hard to erase off of. It's super smooth. They're calling it marker paper, which makes you think maybe it would be good with alcohol markers. I have tested it with alcohol markers since it's not the greatest. They also sent Clairefontaine Goldline layout paper to use with alcohol markers, which is fine. It works on them, but this is tracing paper. It is super thin. This is not even as thick as regular marker paper, and it's not coated like regular marker paper. This is animators or architects tracing paper, layout paper. And most recently, they sent 20 sheets of this long, thin, odd dimensions cartridge paper. 140 GSM, pretty thick. It can handle most things. I was using ink on it. It's perfectly fine. I was doing water techniques on it. It stood up really well, but it's just basic cartridge paper. The value of the paper totals £30.84 for all 12 boxes put together, and that's 11.46% of the total for the 12 boxes. Next, let's just flip that card over. Pastels, charcoal, and sticks. The January box was all about pastels. They sent us a 10 set of half sticks of soft pastels from Rembrandt. These are absolutely beautiful pastels. I had actually been considering splurging on some pastels over Christmas last year, and then I came home from visiting family and this box was waiting for me, and yeah, got them. This is the Desert Colors set. It is so gorgeous. I love these. And along with them, they sent the Brunzil Design pastel pencils. One of the boxes, as I mentioned, was charcoal focused. They sent a couple pieces of Coates Willow charcoal. Are these the exact sticks that were sent? I don't know. I just pulled them back out of my charcoal and pastel box. This is definitely the one they sent. I don't have any others like this. This one is a Sea White and Brighton black compressed charcoal stick. To go along with that, they sent a Kohinoor Gioconda medium charcoal pencil, a pair of Lyra Rembrandt chalk pastel pencils, and there were a couple of other things that weren't charcoal or pastels in that box. A different box sent these. These are Derwent Inktense sticks. You may be wondering, why have I included these in the selection with pastels and charcoal? That's because these are basically Conte crayons, Conte artist sticks. You could call these crayons. You might be able to get away with calling them hard pastels. They're not nearly as delicate as hard pastels. They're not chalky at all. They feel quite waxy. These, made by Derwent, are pretty much the same thing. You can color with them dry, you can blend them and smudge them around if you wanted to, or you can get them wet. Both of these are water-soluble mediums. Where they differ, these will reactivate on the page, these will not. As the line name Inktense suggests, once these are wet, they become ink and then they're permanent. You can also get these as pencils. The total for this selection is £40.57, which is just over 15% of the total value of the 12 boxes we're looking at. This is not a huge category. December's box sent a 6-pack of Derwent metallic colored pencils. And if you're wondering why I had mutilated the ends, it was so that I could write down the light fastness rating. Derwent uses the blue wool scale out of 8. As you can possibly see 5 of them are 8s, and the pink is a 2. So the 8s get to live in my nice fancy pencil box. And the 2 lives in my old plastic pencil box up on top of my desk with the majority of my Prismacolors. The charcoal focus box sent a Lyra Rembrandt Splendor pencil, which is a colorless wax pencil core that is meant for blending and burnishing. It's a great tool if you are working with actual wax-based colored pencils. Didn't really seem to do anything with the charcoal box. One of the boxes sent these Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer Magnus watercolor pencils. These are exactly the same as the regular Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils. Same name, same colors, same pigments, same light fastness rating. They're just a much bigger core. This is a Derwent. It's already big compared to like your average writing pencil. Look at the difference. The background has changed because I'm an idiot. This is the Caran d'Ache Prismalo pencil. It is a water-soluble black pencil. I wouldn't actually call it a watercolor pencil, but it's not graphite, so I stuck it in with the colored pencils. The colored pencils here, this is 3 different boxes. They total £22.75 for almost 8.5% of the total cost of 12 boxes. Value, sorry, not cost. On the other side of that card, we have the Miscellaneous. The metallic pencils came with this Derwent copper ruler. It is a solid metal copper ruler, 6 inches, 15 centimeters. One of the paint focused boxes sent this palette knife card. What they mean for you to do is cut it up and use it to mix and apply to the artboard. I actually cut up and used the palette card last time they sent one. If you look at the previous Year of ScrawlrBox, you will see that we got some water mixable oil paints, and they had sent one of these, and I actually cut it up and used it. So when I got this again, I'm like, no, I'm going to keep this, and we're going to hang on to it and show it off in this video. So it's the size of a regular debit card, credit card, but it's a little bit thicker. You can bend it for sure. They assigned no value to this. We have some Culture Hustle gold glitter. This is plant-based, 100% compostable, non-toxic glitter. Used it once in the project for that box and haven't used it again. Still somehow finding bits of glitter everywhere, even though this is taped back shut and I store it in a box with my washi tape. One of the boxes sent this glue stick. This is a Stick-It glue pen. And this is the type of glue they use in Europe. It's not the type of glue we're used to here in North America. So it's a very different consistency. I was not used to using this type of glue. I thought it was already dried out. No, it's just a different type of glue. And then a Cum Magnesium double hole pencil sharpener. These 5 items add up to £9.74, and that's just over 3.5% of 12 box RRP total value. Let's talk about markers. One of the boxes sent 2 Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer watercolor markers. These are the same colors as all of their other professional lines, and they are surprisingly actually light fast. They're 3 stars. Faber-Castell uses a 0 to 3 star system, so these are as light fast as you're gonna get. On one end, you have this nice brush, and on the other end, you have a fine point. Public service announcement, do not use the word bullet in the comments to describe a nib like that. That is one of those words that YouTube filters and just makes it disappear. It doesn't even go to my spam, it just disappears. Don't use it unless you're going to intentionally misspell it so that it misses it. One of the boxes sent these Faber-Castell metallic markers. They're just your regular marker nibs, fine nib. They're water-based, it's metallic ink, fairly permanent once dry. There's always an alcohol marker focused box at least once a year. These are the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. We got 3 of them. We got a yellow set, a pink set, and a turquoise set. What's unique about this is you'll either get shades 1, 3, and 5, or shades 7, 8, and 9 of one particular color family. So this one is the blue turquoise shades BT 7, 8, and 9. They're all these little fine nibs, and the marker opens in 3 spots. They're called Tri-Blend because this is supposed to be a great blending family. I don't find blending with the fine nib very easy, so I rarely reach for these. I do have one more. I got it in a sketch box 2 years ago. Once again, used it in that box and then usually don't use it anymore. We did have a Posca focused box. We got 5 Posca markers, 2 in the 3M and 3 in the 5M. These are your classic acrylic paint markers. If you are unfamiliar with Uni Posca at this point, go watch Casey Golden. She uses them a lot. What you see left here is the manuscript Cali Creative Flex markers. And if you watched Wednesday's video, same week here, that's when I finally got these. These are these italic script writing calligraphy markers. They're water-based. I expected them to be about as water-soluble as, you know, Crayolas, but they're not. They actually compete with these guys for how well they dissolve, even after you've put them on the page first and then hit them with a wet paintbrush. So this represents 24 total markers in 5 boxes. 14 of them are water-based, not paint. 2 of them are watercolor paint. The other ones are 3 alcohol and 5 acrylic. The total RRP is £60.47, and that's 22.5% of the 12 box RRP total. One of the boxes sent this 4-pack of Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Black pens. We have the small, fine, and medium, and a brush. So these are the 0.1, 0.3, and 0.5 millimeter Japanese style nibs and a regular brush nib. Not the small, not the large, just the regular. The medium, I guess you would say. That's what the largest, the 0.5 of the regular nibs looks like. That's what the brush looks like. Pretty standard black pigment liner. These are permanent once dry. They do stand up to alcohol markers pretty well. They do stand up to watercolor markers pretty well. We also got a Faber-Castell Eco pigment liner in 0.6, a Molotow black liner in 0.4, and the Centro Pen liner 2811F. The website for the manufacturer says that this is a 0.3 millimeter nib. I'm not so sure. The line it makes looks more like a 1 or 2. We have the Kuretake Food twin tip. This is brush nibs on both ends. This end is a gray and this end is black. And we got 2 different white gel pens this year. We have your regular Sakura Jelly Roll. This is the 08, which is the medium size, standard rollerball gel pen. And we got the Uni Signo white gel pen. This is the bold, so it's a 1 millimeter nib. This actually isn't the exact one that came in the box. I already had a bunch, so I didn't open the other one. So this is 10 different pens in 5 boxes. There's 2 white gel pens, there are 2 brush pens. The rest of them are fine liners with 0.1 to 0.6 millimeter nibs. Totals £28.27, and this is 10.5% of the RRP value of the 12 boxes I'm featuring. Paint and brushes. One of the boxes sent 3 Daler-Rowney System 3 acrylic paints. They were clearly going for the CMYK primaries, minus the K. K stands for black. We have cyan, yellow, magenta. Fairly nice acrylics. These are heavy body acrylics, which I am not used to working with. And I had really wished when we were doing this box that we had received a black and white. One box sent these Derivan liquid pencil. This is water-soluble graphite paste, and they're fairly muted colors. We have gray 9, blue, and yellow. The yellow looks quite green, and it's taped up because it's leaking somehow. They have these interesting caps. You don't unscrew them once you've broken the seal, you just flip them open. One box sent us a 6-pack of Daler-Rowney Aquafine gouache. This is their higher tier gouache. This actually has light fastness ratings. They go up to a 4, as you can tell from this one. Nothing on their website actually tells you what that means comparing to blue wool, but we're going to assume that since they're going to 4 and blue wool is 8, probably means that 4 is 7 and 8 on blue wool, 3 would be 5 and 6. So all of these are acceptably light fast. They're all going to last at least 50 years. Of course, that changes when you add water if you're not using purified distilled water. Now for the paint brushes. We have 5 brushes. That was 3 different boxes that sent paint, but 2 of the boxes that sent other water-soluble items also sent brushes. We have 4 round brushes. 3 of them are 6, and 1 of them is an 8. 2 of them are Pro Art. The Sea White has the same metal thing. Ferrule? So I'm thinking that Pro Art and Sea White are made by the same place. And we have a custom ScrawlrBox number 10 flat brush. Again, same metal thing. Probably manufactured the same place. Exactly a year before that, we were also sent a custom ScrawlrBox number 10 flat brush. That also has the same metal thing. Again, probably made by the same place. This one was valued at 2.5 pounds. This one was valued at 3.5 pounds. Apparently it costs an extra pound to paint it silver. This collection of paint and brushes totals 54 pounds 27, and that's about 20% of the total value in the 12 boxes we're looking at. And last selection, pencils and erasers. Last year they sent, I swear, more pencils than this, and they sent a much wider range of hardness in pencils. They went all the way up to 4H last year, and all the way down to something like 6 or 8B. This only ranges from 3B to HB, not a huge range. For pencils, we have 8 graphite pencils, one of which is water soluble. Lyra Robinson pencil in 3B, regular graphite pencil. Derwent Sketching in HB, regular graphite pencil. We have the Staedtler Mars Lumograph Black pencil. So this is a graphite that has been infused with carbon charcoal to make a blacker line. For some reason, this is the pencil they sent with the Posca markers on that awful paper that doesn't erase. We have the Faber-Castell 9000 series professional grade graphite pencil. This one is in 2B. We have a custom gold painted ScrawlrBox edition of Viking in 4B. So correction, they went as low as 4B, not as low as 3. Koh-i-Noor Hardmut 1860 series graphite pencil in B, a Derwent sketching pencil water-soluble in 4B medium wash. This is not the one they sent. I already had some, so I just sharpened this one more. And a Lyra Rembrandt HB graphite pencil. For erasers, we got the Faber-Castell Perfection double-ended eraser pencil, pink and white end. One of them is supposed to be better for colored pencil and ink. I believe that's the white end. This one, I already had one, so this is not the original they sent. I didn't want to sharpen a new one when I still had this. I also got this from ScrawlrBox. I believe you will see it in last year's 12 boxes. We have a Coombe natural rubber eraser. We have a Winsor Newton kneadable eraser. We have the Koh-i-Noor combined eraser. One end is sanded for erasing ink, kind of like the Tombow sanded erasers, like these. And we have a Faber-Castell dust-free white eraser. 8 pencils and 5 erasers from most of the boxes. Totals 17 pounds 58 for just 6.5% the cost of the 12 boxes altogether. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this 12 months of ScrawlrBox. Again, that was November 2019 to October 2020. If you want to see what I got in the previous 12 consecutive months of ScrawlrBox, I will link that video as well. I have paused my ScrawlrBox subscription at this point because I just have too many supplies, but I do recommend this one if you like subscription boxes. I recommend this if you are looking to try new things, if you're looking to build your collection, if you want to be surprised. If you want specific things, don't rely on a subscription box. They're going to surprise you with what's in them every month. You don't get to make requests. Go buy it yourself, individually. If you're looking for more to watch, I've got some suggestions up on the left side of the screen now. Don't forget to like, comment, maybe even subscribe. And if you like living life creatively, whatever that means to you, I'd love to have you along for the ride. Bye guys!